So there's some interesting information that's coming out and that's being alleged when it comes to Nolan's phone. Now, there have been two things that I've keyed on and focused on since this story came out, since the investigation started. The first thing was what the heck happened to Nolan, which is everybody saying, but not specifically what happened to Nolan with his friends, but what happened to Nolan with the last person who saw him alive. Who is that? Where are they? Where did Nolan go? Did he go to the other side of the island and go to the bathroom and then he just got into the water and disappeared? Did he get on a boat with someone else? Who saw what happened? The second thing, and the main thing I've been focusing on, and we talked a lot about, is Nolan's phone. Now, we know there was a lot of skepticism coming from Nolan's family side, specifically with Christine. She's been outspoken about that when it comes to accessing his phone. She even said from the beginning, it looks like there were messages missing. It looked like there were texts. It looked like there were photos missing from Nolan's phone, and she did not know why. So we already knew from the beginning that Nolan's family had a major distrust for local law enforcement and even the friends who were involved in this case. Now we're hearing reports that the police actually never got access to Nolan's phone. Now, there's two sides to this, of course, just like there are in every story. There's really three sides to every story. But in this case, I want you guys to let me know if you think you understand this. Do you understand them keeping the phone, wanting to go through their own independent discovery, their own independent investigation, or do you think it should have been handed over to authorities immediately? Because we're going to find out here, and shout out to Sarah Fields for reporting on this over on X. She says, allegedly, not long after July 6th, Al Sharpton told TMZ that Nolan's phone had been wiped clean. I don't know why Al Sharpton's speaking on this, but either way, Al Sharpton said, and quote, all of his photos, text messages, and everything on the phone had been erased. Allegedly, the authorities were given Nolan's phone. Christine Wells never turned it over. Therefore, the claim that anything was erased will remain unproven and unsupported allegation. If anything was actually erased, as they asserted, they clearly didn't care enough to have it investigated, or it wasn't his friends who erased it. Now, again, this is a lot of speculation in here. Again, Sarah's been doing a great job investigating this, but I think we got to pump the brakes on this a little bit because we don't know if they have their own expert, if they got with the Celebrite, if they got with someone who could look into and get the data information from this phone. We do know that they have reached out to and they actually subpoenaed Snapchat, Google, Facebook, and multiple other companies to try and get Nolan Wells data. So the question you want to ask is, well, why are they asking for this if they already have his phone, if they have his phone in their possession? So again, I would hold off on making any conclusions here, but it's interesting to hear that that's what's being said. Secondly, Sarah says this. She says exclusively, sources say that Nolan's cell phone was never turned over to authorities. And according to a credible source, allegedly, I want to make that very clear, with close proximity to and knowledge of the investigation, that more than 30 days after the death of Nolan Wells, his mother, Christine Wells Wansley, has allegedly not surrendered Nolan's cell phone to authorities. That might be understandable. This is the same cell phone that became a major point of speculation almost immediately after Nolan's disappearance and death. Christine herself made Nolan's cell phone a significant part of the public's suspicion. I think I thought about that myself. I didn't need Christine to do that. The fact that they had his phone and Nolan didn't have his phone with him, I think was the biggest red flag to anybody who saw this from the beginning. Now, initially, Christine said Nolan's phone was not with him on Horn Island. According to her own account, the family tracked the phone using Life 360, determined that it was back on the mainland, and had a family friend retrieve it from a friend's house. And Warren testified to that, or I guess said that during an interview as well. Now, Christine then publicly discussed that she and her sister found, or more importantly, what they didn't find when they went through Nolan's phone. She said they checked both his Snapchat accounts and found no photos or videos from that day because less than 24 hours had passed and Nolan was someone who normally took photos and videos while out with close friends. Christine suggested that the content must have been deleted. Now, it makes me wonder, were text messages and information that they knew should have been there not there? Again, guys, is it possible? Maybe. Those statements helped fuel multiple conspiracy theories and unverified rumors surrounding Nolan's phone and what may or may not have been removed from it. It was later clarified by multiple witnesses that Nolan left his phone on the boat along with several others as it was not custom to walk around or wade through the water with their cell phones on their person. Christine later clarified her statements, acknowledging that she did not actually know whether anything had been deleted. Her belief was based on the fact that she found it strange that Nolan apparently had not taken photos or videos that day. But now there's a much bigger question. According to a source, allegedly, more than a month after Nolan's death, Christine refuses to turn Nolan's cell phone over to authorities. Again, I think that may be because they're doing their own investigation and they want to explore every single avenue of what happened until they hand the phone over to authorities. To me, that makes the most sense. But again, y'all let me know what you think. And then she says, if Christine genuinely believes foul play may have occurred, and if she believes Nolan's cell phone could contain important evidence connected to what happened, why has the phone not been surrendered to investigators for forensic examination? She has stated that she wants the truth. Well, probably because they've raised nearly $1 million and they can do their own investigation. Again, I'm just thinking with common sense, guys. I don't know. This is all speculation. This is, let's be honest, speculation by Sarah here. In my opinion, if you raised $1 million and you can do the investigating yourself, probably, maybe in a lot of cases at a higher level than local law enforcement, just do it yourself. I'm not turning over. Guys, I got this. I'm going to go to the best of the best. We got Ben Crump. We got Colin Kaepernick. We got Tyler Perry. We got $1 million. And I'll do the investigating and find out exactly what happened on this phone. And if you guys want to use that report as a part of your grand jury, evidence, then go ahead. And once we're done, I'll give you the phone. So yeah, I don't know. Could they keep a copy of the phone and then use that? Probably. I don't blame. And I, especially with the statement, as you guys know, I keep harping on that the sheriff made shortly after Nolan Wells was found, saying that there wasn't any suspicion of foul play. Christine's like, nah, I'm done with you guys. We're going to do this ourselves.
So we're going to stop there. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone who's entering into the chat, everyone who's in the building. We appreciate everyone who has tuned in to Town Hall number 4 as we speak about some of the new videos. I won't even say evidence, just new videos that have come out. Just more information to put out there for you guys who are not able to watch everything, because I know it's a lot coming out. So again, this town hall is just to raise awareness to what's going on, but also for people to be able to give their own opinion and their own side. So, Rain, how do you feel initially about the phone issue with Miss Wells still having the phone and not being turned over? How do you initially feel about that conversation?
With the private investigation, the independent investigation being done with Crump and his team and whatnot, I would hope to think that she's already done that with the investigators that they have. I don't know for sure if she hasn't done. Do we know for sure that she hasn't done that with the investigators that they had? We don't know for sure. So, but with that being said, I don't see why it was still. Obviously, and this is in my opinion, she has some trust issues with the local law enforcement there. She is not trusting their investigation fully. So that may be her reason for not wanting to turn over the phone to investigators. But also, why haven't they issued a warrant for evidence? In the same, so I still have my stance on. I understand Mississippi is trying to do a thorough investigation. The local law enforcement is trying to do a thorough investigation there, and I understand that it takes time. But I still think that they drug their feet a little bit, and we don't know what they have turned over to the grand jury yet as well. So,
okay, yeah. All great questions. All great questions. We are going to have some legal experts actually answer some of the questions that we are asking ourselves tonight. We actually have some video footage of certain attorneys that are going to give their reasoning why they feel like the phone is not actually being turned in. The only question that this spirals to me is, if you have this and you're not making any attempts to get this phone either unlocked or get the information extracted, what side of the story do you want? Like, that's something that no one else has, right? The Mississippi DA doesn't have it. Like, no one outside of the Wells family has that one item of possible evidence that could be used. So, as just a person, just thinking from just a logical standpoint, why wouldn't we go ahead and give everybody that pertinent information?
right.
Like, why wouldn't you already, like, why would we want everybody to focus on a CTO audio or a picture of a boat, or like all these things that everybody's trying to like convince themselves what they see or hear? But this is the one piece of evidence that, again, Class E said it very good, right? Very eloquently. You got all this funding behind you. Why wouldn't that be your first thing?
Right.
because it was one of the first things that came out per Al Sharpton, per we just heard from his documentation. So I just think it just makes you wonder, like, if we're looking for truth and you have a source of truth, why wouldn't that be your main go-to? That'd be like if I knew in a possible murk case, I knew where the weapon was that still had blood on it, but I'm just gonna hide it and wait for every other piece of evidence to come out. But I'm not gonna give you the weapon that I already found in the trash can yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. And it might have my son or daughter's DNA on it. Like I don't, because that, you know what I mean? Like all because and I'm sure you watch a lot of Law and Order, a lot of
Mhm.
so like you
First
think
48,
yeah, you
all
think
that.
about it, outside of the family, couldn't we have gotten handprints off of that to bring in everybody who's questioned who touched the phone that day? You see what I mean? Like you think about it just like a weapon. If somebody finds a weapon that was used in an incident, they're going to bring everybody in there whoever had fingerprints on that weapon.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's like it's actually could lead us to a lot of pertinent information. You know what I mean? Then we don't have to speculate. We can say, "Yep, okay, Warren, why was your hands on that phone? Okay, what moments were your hands on that?" Like you can bring people in and ask them very pertinent questions. So just it doesn't really raise concern for me because I understand that, like you said, it could be the possible relationship or the fear of handing it over, feeling like it's not going to be done correctly, or but I'm just feeling like, man, how long has it been now? It's been over a month now, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, some time has passed.
Month
I
and a
don't know.
half, like 7 weeks, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know why we wouldn't
6.
want that information. So
Mhm.
we're gonna get to some of these comments. Oh, again, just for some housekeeping, if anybody wants to come up, we will drop the link again for town hall. You can come up, speak for 2 minutes. Me and Rain are not here to combat or go against what you have to say. You can let the world know how you feel, and then we'll let you drop off at 2 minutes. Or if it goes quicker, we'll let you leave the stage. So, but we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Shout out to our Facebook people over there. We have Miss Deborah, we have Marcus Riley. We appreciate y'all on the Facebook side of things.
Definitely.
So here you go. Let's see here. There you go. We'll start here. Okay.
Bug said, "Hey, Bug, but why would she delete her son's phone?" Penny said, "Yeah, the cloud would have it, but Apple's privacy laws are pretty strict. So unless they had the password, then I don't know how they would get into it." Yeah. Plug said, "Now, why wouldn't she turn over the phone? That doesn't make sense. She would want the truth, right?" Miss V said, "Well, why haven't investigators sent a warrant for that phone?" Uncle Plug said, "All this sounds fugazi to me. I'm just saying." I heard him say that. Fugazi. Miss V said, "Seat." Penny said, "They raised a meal. How much goes to Crump and how much to the fam?"
Yeah, Crump 33%. If you go look at his website, 33%.
Mm-hmm. Plug said, "Now that makes sense. She would keep and do their own investigation."
We're gonna give y'all this great show is all gonna correlate. You're gonna see what's supposed to actually happen with the phone.
Welcome Man 215. Why not the FBI? I think they were involved a little bit. Uncle Plug said 33%.
Yeah,
Penny.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Penny said, "Uncle, I'm in the wrong business."
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Plug said, "Me too. Me too." Miss V said, "Cool beans, thank you." Penny said, "I'm with Rain. Lots of cut corners though. Too many to just be mistakes. To be just mistakes." Miles said, "All warrants are warrants public info. Maybe it was issued and we don't know."
Miles, you're peeking around the corner. You're peeking around the corner. We're gonna play a lot of good information tonight.
Penny said, "And fingerprints on the phone is a lot because now I'm just saying."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Maddie said, "I would not turn over his phone to any of law enforcement. They haven't even arrested or questioned anyone, as well as the sheriff saying no foul play before the autopsy." Penny said, "We do have to consider that there is stuff on the phone because he's a kid, a high school kid. No, he's college, right? He was going to college.
Yep.
That would reflect badly on his character. Maybe that too. Maybe the mama seen something in there that she doesn't want exposed. Maddie said any good parent will have their kid's password.
And Marty, we're going to actually be speaking about that very soon. So we appreciate everybody who's here tonight.